everybody. Welcome to Bish's RV. My name is Josh the RV Nerd, hanging out up here around my Grand Rapids #Michigan sister store today with what I think is my favorite of the Riverside retros I've had the opportunity to see so far. This is the 191, I think it is, basically rear dinette. And I looked at this and I immediately went, you remember when camping wasn't about fireplaces and smart TVs? You remember when camping was just about like sitting around a fire pit, cooking a hot dog off a poker stick that you whittled off of some branch, which is probably poisonous or something, in the back 40. But we all made it. We drank out of the green garden hose and we all made it, right? That's what this reminds me of. It's just a camper. But I'm going to give Riverside some credit. I kind of offered personal criticisms for them last year, a couple things they didn't do that I see they're stepping up and taking care of. I'm not taking credit for that happening. I'm just saying I like the direction they're headed. Now, you have your choice between all kinds of different interior and exterior looks on these. You got the baby blue, there's like a seafoam green, there's a ruby red, and all those like 1950s diners colors with the checkerboard flooring. Everybody remembers the 80s as being all checkerboard neon, but anyone who lived in the 80s remembers everything was just friggin' brown, especially in your house. But you can also just get gray and or black striping. Like, you can have these dressed up all kinds of different ways. I think they're a little more fun in the wild color packages, though. They're offering a 12-volt fridge now, which they never did before. We've got that paired up with their solar package today. It's got some good things. It's got some bad things. It's got some things that just might not work for you. Maybe not bad sometimes, just might not work for you. And trying to give you a fair look at it's what I'm going to do here today. Let's get started. I've talked enough. Now this video, everything's going to be pretty much up in your face because I don't use a wide-angle lens when I record this stuff. I like to use a flat lens, so it looks a little bit more how it would look like if you went to see it in person. It just feels like it gives you a little more true view of things here. Now that's a big farm sink. The RV doesn't really have a whole lot of countertop prep space, but again, it's a small rig, and it's one of those things that's just a small little basic camper back before every single RV had to acquiesce to every request every single person ever made. And don't get me wrong, I don't think there's anything wrong with RVs evolving over time, but sometimes there's also nothing wrong with a smaller, simpler, lighter, basic little box because you just want to get away from people. I do like the window coverage and kind of the warm look. I like this color palette personally, but that can vary quite a bit. Now that dinette can fold down into a sleeper. There's a little bit of storage below the left bench. The right bench is mostly like systems stuff. The window's all open for airflow, which is kind of cool. And you know what? Why not? Let's just go ahead and I'm going to jump the gun. We're just going to start cracking open storage here to give you a look around everything. The overhead cabinetry, I like that they made the doors open sideways instead of vertically, so they didn't have to worry about any sort of gas strut or anything like that. And behind that dinette on the one side, on the poop side of the RV, there is a big old routed out chest trunk of storage in there. And I take no pleasure in saying this. You can put a lot of junk inside that trunk. All right, that actually wasn't true. I took a great deal of pleasure in saying that. Backing up a little bit here, sitting at the dinette, using the door as a reference point there for you. You see, that's where your TV hookups would be located, but TV entertainment is definitely a secondary concern on a floor plan like this. You know, when you're sitting, I'm on the kitchen side of the dinette, you're right over here, right across from whoever's with you. I would say that this is mostly just a two-person dinette. It's not a full, like, family dinette, but it's also not a full family camper, so that certainly, I don't know, it seems on brand. It seems appropriate. Little look at the back side of our Coopersville, Michigan location there. These windows, I think I mentioned, they all open for airflow, and I'm going to give them some credit. These dinette cushions don't suck. And the mattress in the bedroom was, like, a big surprise in the most positive way. It's not the same backbreaker death wafer that you find from almost every single manufacturer. We will get up there in just a minute, though. If you just walk in the entry door, this is what you're greeted with right here, just to kind of complete the visual. And apparently Riverside's engineers seem to be of the same belief as all the other RV engineers in the mainstream business, that grease from bacon only goes forward and back. It doesn't go side to side. So get used to cleaning those stickers off the wall over there, ladies and gentlemen. Now, interestingly, like I kind of mentioned, it has a little bit of like a motorhome style bedroom and bathroom. You see the little magnet holdback on that door right there? Well, that will marry up with that there magnet over there in the shower space to kind of cut the camper off if need be. Now, you do have a privacy curtain here for the shower, but I think some folks are going to feel better if they kind of feel like they're a little bit more enclosed. Now, taking a look at my face up there in the shower, you can tell I was a little bit nervous. Now, to be fair, again, it's a small camper. I don't mind making little accommodations like that. I do want to mention, though, that's not shower surround paneling. That is basically just wall paneling, which a lot of people are about to have a heart attack. Because, like, what do you mean? You're just getting water on your walls? And yeah, that's what RVs did for a lot of years. And what it requires is when you, basically, when you're done showering, you need to take your towel, wipe down the walls, and then you need to make sure you have the vent fan turned on. And unlike the models that I saw, the little guys last year, this one actually does have a factory vent fan up here, albeit a small one, easily upgradable, thankfully. And that's actually another interesting mindset and concept potentially with these RVs. This is a smaller, far more budget-friendly camper than so many things out there today. And as a result, if there's a couple little upgrades, like say the fan, that you want to do or add some extra solar or something, you could do something like that on this RV and save huge compared to a lot of the other things that are out there. Maybe that idea works for you. Maybe it doesn't. Now, like I said, we're all up in the face of this thing. I do want to mention that is a short queen bed. That's a camp queen. And looking at the room at the base of the bed, if you upgraded this to a true queen, you would definitely be doing a butt scoop boogie around it. And one of the things that I spied in the lower left corner right there as I was doing that is a heat vent. And as dumb as it sounds, that's an important thing to look for in little campers like this, because some brands will just occasionally forget to route heating to a bedroom or something. It's unbelievably dumb, but the fact is, some of them do it. And I've seen it happen more than just a single time. One thing I really like, though, the headboard power pockets, those little alcoves that you have up in the headboard area. One, if you're claustrophobic, it's kind of nice not to be staring at the wall like you're in a loony bin or something like that. Two, household and USB plugs were nice in that area. And across from the bed, you do have some TV hookups there as well. Now, above here in the bedroom, that is just a plain vent. It's not powered. But because this doesn't have a laminated roof, if you wanted to piggyback the power off of that light and upgrade this to a fan, that wouldn't be hard at all. Now, if we start talking towing on this thing, you see that with the, I think the size, the weight category is something like this. I think a bigger class tow package SUV would make a good pairing. I don't think you necessarily need to give up your daily driver to get the diesel 3/4 ton monster truck or anything like that. Nothing wrong with a diesel 3/4 ton monster truck. They're pretty awesome. They do a lot of work for us hauling campers around, but not everybody needs or wants all that. A tow package mid-size pickup might be a really good pairing here. You know, Ranger, Tacoma Canyon, Colorado, etc. Something of, you know, in that category. Awning's not too big on this now that I'm looking at it, but at the same time, if you wanted a longer awning, you're probably going to have to sacrifice that bedroom window. That's a funny thing about power awnings. The push-button convenience of them is nice, but I started in this industry when manual awnings were still standard, even up on big luxury fifth wheels. And there's some benefits to them. Like the manual awnings, you could just plant them over a window. It didn't matter. It was okay. The windows are tinted, which is nice. The skin on this I like, because this is what the tongue-in-cheek phrase would refer to as a stick and tin camper. Aluminum skin with a wood skeletal structure on it. And they use a little bit different kind of skin on this, and it just gives it, I think, a good look. Now, pause here real quick. Take a look up top on the roof, and you see that this does have that factory solar package applied to it here. I think that pairs up very nicely with the 12-volt fridge, but I do believe you could get that also with the two-way fridge and be just fine there. Now, you might have noticed how the color of this thing is kind of magic morphing, hypercolor shirt changing like something from the 90s or whatever. That's because the way modern cameras try to balance color while you're walking around a wild environment like this, they get a little bit wacky, especially as the sun comes out, goes away, little things like that. Oh, shoot! I almost crapped a spatula. We gotta make sure we take a look inside that front storage compartment. Not that there's anything earth-shattering, but the fact is they did a really nice job giving us a good front storage compartment on here, and I don't want you to miss it. So I'd be kind of curious to know, which color would you go with? What fridge would you go with? I don't know what's gonna make a hill of beans difference, just I always enjoy that. Thank you for keeping the community going. Thank you for the constant interaction. You'd be surprised how much it means to me, folks. Just you know, I act like I'm talking to you. I'm out here in the middle of the field talking to myself with absolutely no one else. So that little interaction you give me, it's like Tom Hanks off Castaway, like, Wilson! I'm like, comments! Obviously. Oh, cloud of gnats. I'm done. Take care. Stay safe. Have fun. Happy. Yep. Just like camping, everyone.